Hey guys, it's Jasmine from the Mirror Gaming team here, and today I'm going to show you how to install a PS5 SSD. If you feel like you're running out of storage space on your PS5, then installing an SSD can be a very quick fix and give you tons more space to install all of those meaty games. Before even installing your PS5 SSD, be sure that you've picked up a compatible SSD model. Here are the requirements. Just take note that these aren't requirements that are laid out by Sony directly, but what we found works best when testing out PS5 SSDs. You want to make sure that the SSD that you're installing has a minimum read and write speed of 5,500 megabits per second. That is just because that's the speed that the PS5 runs at, so installing anything slower than that might slow down your console. And you also want to make sure that the SSD you're installing is 22mm in width, just because that's the space that you get when installing the drive into your PlayStation. So keep in mind again, other drives might work, but this is what we found works best during our testing. So to begin with, make sure that you turn off your PS5 console and wait for it to cool down. Remove all of the plugged-in cables and accessories. Next, take off your PS5 cover. We've got a video that you can check out on the Mirror Gaming channel if you don't know how to do this. You can find the link in the description below. Once you've removed the cover, you should see where the SSD expansion slot is. It's a long rectangular cover on the edge of the PS5. You can then remove the screw from the expansion slot and you should see where you're able to plug in your SSD. Once you've removed the cover, take your M.2 SSD. You will see the section that gets plugged in has a small notch in it, and the PS5 should have a corresponding notch where you plug it into, so be sure to line these up and then push it in firmly. Once you've got it plugged all the way in, you should see a screw slot on the opposite end. Using the screw that was already there in the PS5, screw it back into place. That is the SSD installed. So now you can just replace the cover that you removed and put your PS5 plastic plates back on. Make sure you hear a click sound when putting your cover back on. Otherwise, it might mean that it's not securely in place and then your PS5 will literally fall apart while you're in the middle of a game. Not a good look. Has happened to me before. Next, plug your PS5 back in and boot it up. The first time you boot it up after installing an SSD, you might be presented with a formatting guide, and just follow the instructions on screen to make sure that your SSD is correctly formatted to work with your PS5. And there you have it. That's how you install a PS5 SSD. You should now be ready to install games straight onto your new SSD without taking up too much room on your console. Keep in mind that when you're installing a PS5 SSD, you are not voiding the warranty for your PS5 because you're just removing the cover rather than taking apart the console itself. So your console should still have warranty on it even if you've done this. Don't worry. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If this has helped you, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the Mirror Gaming YouTube channel. This has been Jasmine showing you how to install a PS5 SSD. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!